morning, everybody, and welcome to another edition of On the Clock with Personal Living. I'm David. I'm with Personal Living Alert, and today we have a great opportunity to talk with Seth Levy. Seth is a partner in Doctors House Calls, and he's going to get into exactly what they do in a minute. But first, I'd just like to welcome you to the show. Seth, good morning, and how are you today?
Hey, David, good morning. Thanks for inviting me on. And I'm wearing this just to remind people to wear your mask.
I think that's a great thing. You know, we're going to be wearing masks. I think you and I talked about earlier today for a while.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Seth, what is your background?
My background has been in health and education for many, many years. My undergrad degree is actually in marketing. My master's degree is in exercise physiology, and my PhD is in public health.
Oh, fantastic. So, you know, how did you get into the senior market? What was your motivation? What drove you here?
Well, I was actually brought down here by a company, an educational company, to work with at-risk children. And then I was approached to work with the first mobile physician group in the state of Florida called MDTU. We had over 5,000 patients, and we had 22 people over the age of 100. I was very proud of that.
Wow,
And
that's
I've been
amazing.
doing the mobile physician work ever since.
So, how long has that been? Because we're going to go into what Doctors House Calls does. So, but how long have you been in the mobile physician?
Probably a little over 20 years. I've been doing mobile physician work for other companies in other states. And about 5 years ago, I met my partner, and we started Dr. House Calls.
So, what is Doctors House Calls? Because I think it's kind of self-explanatory, but you probably go into a lot more detail, not only with us, the viewers, but with what you do for your patients. So, what does Doctors House Calls do? What do you guys do?
So Dr. House Calls is a very, very unique company. We are a 100% mobile physician group. And by that, I mean, we're exactly like any other doctors, except we go to people instead of people schlepping to the doctor's office. We go to patients in assisted living, independent living, and one of the only ones that also go to people in their private home. And we could see anybody. We have no restrictions on whom we could see, just like any other doctor. But we make life very convenient. So obviously, for seniors especially, because we are a direct Medicare provider, most patients don't pay us because we're paid by Medicare. Besides the medical component, anything that patient needs, we're able to supply for them. In addition to the medical visit, if they need an EKG, a sonogram, an echo, blood draws, x-rays, home health, physical therapy, whatever they need, we have it ordered, and everything is done in the home wherever they live. So it becomes very convenient.
So you can do all the tests. I mean, so you put the cuffs on, you do the blood pressure, every single test that they could possibly need?
Yep, everything, just as if you were in a regular doctor's office, we do it in their home. And again, if the patient has regular Medicare, if they have any of the PPOs or Blue Cross Blue Shield, we actually just signed the contract with Humana and Aetna HMO. So we're now able to do Humana and HMOs in facility settings.
Wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, I really see the need for something like that. I know a lot of seniors, you know, aren't super mobile, and you know, and getting to a doctor and waiting for an hour and a half before you're seen. I'm sure you are far more convenient. You show up, boom, you do it, and you're gone.
Well, not only that, David, but you got to realize right now, because of COVID, you want to get sick, go to the doctor's office, go to the urgent care, or go to the ER. You'll get sick. So besides, you know, being safe for people, we're able to deliver whatever they need in their home. We're actually now able to do the COVID testing in their home, so they don't have to go anywhere. You realize that in the 2000 census, in Broward County alone, there was over 85,000 homebound and bedbound people. And that's more than 15 years ago. So you can imagine what's out there today.
Wow.
Our patients do not have to be homebound, but there are many patients, like you say, especially seniors, for whatever reason, transportation, ambulation, too sick to get out of bed, non-compliant, or not able. They are homebound. We see everybody.
Are you able to, I know you guys could prescribe drugs, but are you able to deliver the drugs too?
So
Or is it
depending on the patient, depends on what plan they have or whatever, they might already be set up with Walgreens home delivery, or they might be set up with a mail order medication being sent to their home. So we take each patient individually upon what their needs are. You know, David, I look at you, you're a young, handsome guy, probably pretty healthy. If you get a cough or a cold, you know, you run over to Walgreens or CVS or wherever, or maybe go to your doc once in a while. However, little Mrs. Smith that gets a cough or cold, not seen in a timely manner, then that could develop into something much more serious. Our
exactly?
expertise is keeping people out of the hospital.
So how has COVID impacted your clients and the services you're able to provide?
So, not to be rude, but because of COVID, we're even 10 times more busy now. Because again, people just don't want to go out. They don't want a chance going to the doctor's office. They don't want a chance going to the urgent care. So we're able to deliver services to people's homes safely and securely and without risk. When our providers show up, they're in full PPE.
All right.
Now, there are some people that even are afraid for somebody to come into their home.
Mm-hmm.
We can actually do the COVID test. You open your door, we put the swab, we're doing both the vocal swab and the nasal swab, depending. They open the door, we do the swab, and that's it. We don't even need to go in.
Is that the rapid test or is that the traditional 3-day
That's
test?
an excellent question, David. So a lot of places are pushing this rapid test. The rapid test is a wonderful idea. However, at this particular time, the rapid tests are extremely inaccurate. We do the regular PG test, which the results are within 24 hours. So it's next day, but they are 97% accurate.
Okay.
I would not suggest anyone getting a rapid test at
There's
this
all,
point in time.
there's all this talk about the vaccine coming out. And with your patients, are you going to be able to provide the vaccine or is that going to be a little bit different for you? How's that going to go?
No, we supply vaccines right now. We do the flu shot. We do whatever the patient needs, we're able to do. So as long as doctors' offices are able to get the vaccine, then of course we'll be able to do the vaccine in the person's home.
Do you foresee that happening or is it going to
Oh,
be
yes.
at mass? Yeah, so the doctors, ultimately doctors, you're not going to have to go to like a hospital
No.
or a mass place to get a vaccine
No.
for anybody, not just your patients. I'm just like,
Again, it really depends on the distribution of the United States. From my understanding at this point in time, what will happen is they're going to have like a seniority list. So for instance, the first responders, doctors, nurses, people like that will get the vaccine for themselves first. Then seniors, people with comorbidities, people with other problems, and then the rest of the population. So it will depend on how they do the distribution and how it's distributed to doctors' offices. Because again, David, we're like any other doctor's office, except we go to people.
I think it's interesting. You know, a friend of mine and I were talking yesterday about the distribution, and we talked about the entire list of who's going to get it first, just like you listed. And we were laughing because there's one group of people that's not on that list, and we think they're really going to be number one, and we think that's the politicians, but that's for another thing. But they never talk
Don't
about
get me started on that one, but you're probably right.
Talk about themselves, but we
Oh,
think
look,
they're
here's
on that
$1,000. Let me take 5 for my family.
list. Exactly.
You know that's going to happen, David. Please.
I know, but they just don't talk.
You know.
So, what do you think? Is it ever going to be? Are we going to go back to pre-COVID, or what's life going to be like, even with the vaccine?
So, you know, pandemics are going to be around. Viruses are going to be around. They're going to be changing. That's something that humans will live with forever. The idea is to get to a stage, kind of like what we have now with the flu, where there's enough people that are inoculated that it's not going to spread and make that much of a problem. Even with the regular flu, David, people might not realize it, But the regular flu kills about 60,000 people a year right now. Just the regular run-of-the-mill flu. And as you remember before, we had the swine flu scare, the Ebola scare, all these different things come along, SARS. And if we're able to get on right away, then we're able to, curb it. But flus and viruses and bacteria will be around forever. One of the problems, or the reason that it is around so much, is because humans keep encroaching on nature. The more we encroach on nature, the more nature and humans cross, the higher the probability of bringing things in and cross populations.
Yeah. Well, how did you cope on a personal side? The first 3 months of COVID, were you going out? Were you staying in? I mean, were you learning how to adjust, not only you, your family, your patients, your business? I mean, because it's different now, but the first 3 months, we weren't doing anything.
The first 3 months were very difficult. As I told you, I'm a partner in this company. My major responsibility is going out and talking to, people like you, going to facilities, letting them know about, what we do. I do community programs. So obviously that was curtailed for a while. So I basically was regulated to phone calls and texts and emails, probably like everybody else. I'm a very personal person. I don't like these Zoom things. I don't like doing things not in person. I like shaking a person's hand and looking in their face. I like telling Mrs. Smith, we're here to get you back on the dance floor.
I like that.
When we see a patient.
I like that.
So personally, it's been kind of difficult, but the most important thing is we've been able to take care of our patients, and that's what we're here for.
That's it. So now, 8-9 months later, yes, there's a resurgence, but I don't know if we've all had COVID fatigue or something, but we're all
That's the problem.
starting to go out a little bit more. So are you, on a social basis, are you going out? Are you still staying in, hunkering down?
Yes and no. So if you follow the research, the virus is spread through the air. So if you go to a restaurant and you sit inside, you are subjecting yourself to the virus. They did a study in China where they had people that were infected on one table, a table 16 feet away. Those people got infected 16 feet away, sitting inside of a restaurant. We go out to eat a lot, but I do not go inside. I only eat outside. Now, obviously, in some places like Boston or wherever, that's much more difficult in the winter season.
Right.
That's why they're afraid of things spreading more. But it's very simple. Also, small enclosed areas, like an elevator. They did a study where it showed a person that's infected goes into an elevator. That virus can last inside that elevator for 16 hours. That's why I only take the stairs.
Don't go to my in-laws. They're on the 12th floor.
That's another problem, right? Well, you'll get in shape.
That's it. Yeah, I just wanted to, you are a wealth of information. So if there's people who want to get in touch with you, whether to use your services, to learn more about COVID or anything, or even just, how could people get in touch with you?
Okay, so I have people all the time call me and just ask for information because I'm very old. I've been doing this a long time. And I know a lot of people. And they can call me. They can call our office if they're interested in an appointment. Or even getting further information about our direct services. They can call 888-606-0227. They can speak with my office manager. Her name is Becky. And whatever they need, we can accomplish. They can call my personal cell phone, which is 561-352-3565. Or they can email me anytime at Seth, S-E-T-H, at dhcmobile.com. That's Seth at David Henry Cat, then the word mobile, mobile.com. or they can go to our website, which is www.doctors, which is plural, hyphen, and then no spaces, hyphen housecalls.com.
Okay,
And they would be very happy to speak with anyone
excellent.
at any time.
All right. Well, Seth, I just want to say thank you very much for being on. I learned more about what you guys do. I mean, you and I, we've known each other for about a year and a half, 2 years now, but we don't get a chance to sit down and
This is true.
talk
We're
is all.
always rushed.
Exactly. So I appreciate your time. I think everybody's going to learn a lot. I think you're a great resource for people to have. And I just want
I
to say
appreciate
thank
that.
you for being on.
I appreciate that, David. And your services and what you do for people at First Alert is extremely important. And I'm hoping that people take advantage of what you do and the services you're able to offer to the community, which is fantastic.
No. Thank you very
Companies
much.
like yours and my company work together and can help people. And the bottom line is keep people out of the hospital.
Well, that's it. You and I have the same goal, keeping people. Well, we try to keep them at home. You keep them healthy, so we kind of working together there.
Yeah. It's one end of the horse or the other end of the horse, but
Exactly. Anyway,
it works the same. Work in conjunction.
I said, thanks, my friend. I appreciate your time.
David, thank you so much, and be safe.
You too.
Bye.